All right, and we are live. I want to welcome everyone to joining us for our broadcast today. My name is Tammy Anderson Ward, and I'm the conference producer for the upcoming Energy Healing Conference, which is right around the corner, happening on June 13th and 14th, so this coming weekend. And if you're watching this on a replay and it's after the conference, rest assured that we will be sharing contact information with these awesome speakers. So you will also be able to still, glean from the information today and then have their contact information to continue to follow up. I'm very excited about our speakers today. Audree Tara Sahota and Michael K. Sahota are with B Evolutionary, and they're coming all the way from Boston to speak at our Layton, Utah Energy Healing Conference. And they are the originators of the Evolutionary Energetics transmission. This is very exciting. The advanced energy system reactivates after 15,000 years, the dormant anatomy of the human energy field. You guys, I've had some downloads of this and felt like this was coming. And then when I met them, I was just super excited. Their work forms the foundation of B Evolutionary Framework, which integrates energetic activation, consciousness transformation that manifests our designed purpose. As authors of Leading Beyond Change, Emotional Space, and the forthcoming of Evolutionary Energetics 2025, right? They guide individuals on a precision path towards self-mastery, energetic mastery, and the embodiment of high-vibrational living. And their class is called Evolutionary Energetics Advanced Chakra Masterclass. And I'm super thrilled to have both of them on today so we can ask them some questions, get to know them better. And I'm so excited. They're going to be speaking Friday night. And Friday night, they're going to be speaking and this is going to be in the premium class in the big hall area. So let's see, Audree and Michael, it looks like I might have you guys backwards at this point on the side. Let's see. Yeah, you guys are to the side now because of the way your phone was. So I'm going to go ahead and remove you really quick from the screen. I'll let you fix that, and then we'll have you come back on. While they're doing that, let me just briefly tell you guys a little bit about what is happening at the Energy Healing Conference. There are seriously so many speakers that are coming in from all over the place. We'll have around 100 different vendors, over 80 different classes at the conference. So there's literally something for everyone. Many of the classes are lecture style, but we also have quite a few that are activity and experiential learning as well. So we're super thrilled to have these guys come, and we get to learn so much. And I love that they're from Boston. My daughter went there last year, and she just absolutely loves that city. I've not been myself. So welcome to our virtual stage today. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having us. As you were speaking, my head started tingling, my shoulders were tingling. This has been many, many years in the making, and we're actually presenting evolutionary energetics out into the world for the very first time through this conference. So we are beyond grateful and so honored to be here. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Well, it really is my pleasure. I'd love to hear you guys tell us a little bit more about your story, who you are, and how you got into this line of work. Just to kick us off, while you're doing that, I'm going to go off screen just so that people can see you a little bit better, but I'll be right here and then I'll come right back. Does that sound good?
Okay. So I don't even know where to start, but I guess I'll start with me. And that is, I'm a graduate from the Barbara Brennan School of Healing. I went through the whole entire program. I went through some of the teacher training. And then I did another, well, that was like 4 years and maybe 6 years. And then I did another training for 2 years with the Energy Touch School of Advanced Healing, not to be confused with some other work. But so all of this was in coherence and alignment with Barbara Brennan's work, her book, Hands of Light, And then from there, I went on to work on a medical team for 5 years with a doctor in the Chicago area where I was from. And during this time, we're upside down again. This is great.
Okay, all right.
Like, I think the energy is just going a little bit crazy. I think I feel like there's so much energy in this. I'm just gonna keep talking.
Yeah, just keep talking.
I feel like there's so much energy with this conference, Tammy. Yeah. I don't know what you are doing, but it feels like I've seen some previews of the conference and some of the vendors. It's like I think that the energy of the conference itself is just going to be like highly vibrational and highly charged. And I have a feeling that there's going to be like a 10-mile radius of like just healing energy that's going to be emanating and transmitting from the conference center itself. But so to continue my story, I graduated in 2001, and then just went on this crazy journey.
What is it doing? I've never seen this do this with anyone.
I mean, the camera's in a mount. It's not moving. It's just staying there. Yeah. I think it's like Audree said, it's the energy. Like there's nothing, there's no human being touching it. It's just the energies are going, wah!
Yeah. So while I was working on that, on a medical team as an energetic healer, which is almost unheard of, especially in the early 2000s, I just had a really great opportunity. Every day I was working and I was doing healing work. And so what happened was that a lot of information started coming in, and I started seeing chakras in the energy field that I had never seen before. So we have chakras down the center of our body, but then I was seeing chakras on either side of the body. And I started asking questions, to my friends, to my teachers. Has anybody ever seen this? I think I got some information about the Sufi. The Sufis see 3 chakras across the heart space. So that started to validate what I was seeing, but I was seeing 3 chakras going, across the body. So eventually and slowly through a lot of meditation and information I was getting from my guides, and then working with my clients, doing healing work, I was a full entire system of chakras had come in. To the point where there was 111 levels of chakras, and that's not 111 chakras, it's 111 levels of chakras. There's 9 chakras in each level, front and back, which would make 18. It was just this crazy amount of information, and the story that goes with it is pretty profound because it happened over a period of years. But what was happening with my clients was that they were healing much faster, rapid evolution, rapid healing, instantaneous healing. And so while there was mystical information coming in, I was being able to validate the healing work because I was working with doctors. And so what happened was that the doctors started sending me all of the really hard cases, mostly stage 4 cancer. I worked at a women's clinic, so it was a lot of ovarian cancer, infertility. I remember one person came in, she had been dying for 3 years, and the doctors couldn't figure out what was making her ill. And within 10 minutes, I was able to find out using my high sense perception, and just vibrating at a higher vibrational frequency gave me access to more information. So in terms of energy, energy when it's a low vibrational frequency is slowly becomes denser and denser within the energy field and winds up manifesting as physical disease in the body. And so when you have very high vibrational frequency, that high vibrational frequency acts as a tuning fork, and it begins to shake up that lower vibrational frequency and transmutes it into high vibrational frequency. And that's how healing happens. So this system that I started to see gave access to higher vibrational frequency due to the amount of chakras that we had available in our system that had been lying dormant in the energy field. It's not like nobody has these. It's not like it's a new thing. It's just been shut off and now it's turning back on. So that's my story. And then I met Michael when I was in India.
Wait, you didn't tell your whole story.
What whole story?
Well, the information came in 2008. Why now? It's 2025. What happened? Like, why did you wait all those years? You know?
First of all, I thought I was procrastinating, to be really honest with you. Like, this was a big, hairy, audacious thing for me to do.
Bodacious too.
Bodacious and audacious. And I do not like being on camera. I do not like being in front of an audience. And to be honest with you, this is just terrifying. Like, I'm like, even now I'm shaking. And excited all at the same time. But I think for me, I decided that this goal was so big, and what I was finding in the energy field was so big that I knew that I had to go on my own evolutionary journey, because I would sabotage the whole thing. And so that's what took me to India, to start looking at consciousness and why we get disease in the first place, because thoughts, belief systems, our behaviors that stem from our perceptions and our thoughts and our beliefs actually create the lower vibrational frequency and the disease in the body. So while it was easy for me to heal people, if they didn't do the inner work necessary to hold the high vibrational frequency, a lot of times the disease will come back, or something else would manifest within the field as disease or imbalance. So really, I wanted to know how this really worked, which took me on a journey into India to find, India is really the heart of where information about consciousness and the constructs of the human consciousness and how it functions. It started in India, so it took me there, and that's where I met Michael. And you can tell me your story a little bit.
They say opposites attract. That's probably a good description.
Yeah.
You could describe me in terms of being connected with energy as a muggle, or a disbeliever, Sean the non-believer. My background is science and engineering, and so. Something.
He has a half a PhD in artificial intelligence.
Okay, so I approach, this understanding of creation from an experimental perspective. Like, I'll try anything and I'll test, experientially, does this work? Does this make a shift in my life? Because I was on this path of realizing I was a well-intentioned asshole, that I can say that, I just did anyway. That the wounding, the low self-worth, the arrogance, the judgment of others, that all this conditioning inside myself was preventing me from living the life I want, preventing me from having a sense of peace, preventing me from being successful in my career. And that's what led me on my journey of evolution. And again, that's where, I also went to India. That's where I met Audree. We're in the same program there together. And I'm here, like, doing this A/B testing. Okay, let's try this technique. Let's try this technique. Let's try this technique. And so what's happened as a scientist and a very practical scientist, like an engineer, application of energy work, application of understanding the mechanics of creation and the human ego, is that evolutionary energetics, which is kind of what Audree's bringing, is the energy. There's a structural work that we need too, of understanding the working of the ego, so we can put the energy and harness it and put into practice in our daily life. And without this part of putting into practice in our daily life, looking at the egoic patterns, moving through our wounding, our karmic structures that are blocking us from creating the life we want, manifesting the life we want, without doing this work over here, the energy work, it's nice, it makes you feel good, but it doesn't shift your reality. And so we need both sides of the equation. So that's
the masculine and the feminine.
Yeah, the yin and the yang. So that's kind of the what's playing out here. And so that's why we say evolutionary energetics, why it is this beyond extraordinary exponential leap in the energy field that's beyond anything that's ever happened in the last 2,000 years or the entire history of humanity. That's how big it is just the starter kit. It's just the starting of the journey.
You're really excited.
Oh, I get so excited.
Wow. Well, I'm so excited too. And yeah, I'm glad that I have you guys bigger because you go really small when I come back on the screen here. I'm sorry about that.
No worries.
But that was really cool. I didn't know a lot of things about you. So I learned that you went to Barbara Brennan's school. I literally have been following them for like ever since I started my journey back in 2011. So that was super exciting. I've got all of their books and have read everything that they've written. So really love to learn that about you and that you guys met in India. That's so super cool. I love also that, Michael, you come with the skeptic mind, right? And then she's the free spirit over here. It's funny how a lot of energetic power couples that work together kind of end up like that, right? So I love hearing about it.
I think you need it. I think, like what Michael said, it's like living in very high vibrational frequency. If it's not grounded, if it
does not have a structure that it can rest in, then it doesn't have it's like just chaos, right? Yeah. And some people may know that, like, there's all this creative energy, but it's chaos. Yeah. And that's why we need both.
Right. Because, we are here to harness a new world. Really, we're stepping into a whole new paradigm for humanity. And the evolution of our consciousness as a human race is moving in this direction. Like, people are talking about consciousness. They're talking about high vibrational energy. They're talking about manifesting. And you've seen this really beautiful going from like on the fringe, an alternative, to this really incredible, like, mainstream. People are actually embracing it. It's so beautiful.
Yeah. And not just like a few, but like millions of people are talking about that. And I love that you guys aren't from Utah, because I think a lot of people that live here in Utah are like, oh, it's just people who live in Utah think that way.
No, we don't. Although we have really good friends that live in Utah, so I'm excited to come to Utah.
Yeah,
and no, we don't live in Sedona. I'm from Chicago. Michael's from Toronto. I lived in California and Sedona a little bit, but really, my whole path with energy, and because coming from Barbara Brennan's school, she was, all my peers were doctors and psychiatrists.
Oh yeah.
And so it was really about bringing this kind of woo-woo stuff into science, to the point where I didn't even get the woo-woo stuff when I was there. Like, mystical things were happening, but we were
channelings on stage.
She was channeling on stage, but it didn't dawn on me that it was not normal. Like, I was just, because we were so focused on the science. We were so focused on, being trained as energetic healers, but being trained like doctors. So some people ask me, what's the difference between Reiki and Barbara Brennan's work? And I always say, well, Reiki is like a general practitioner, and Barbara Brennan's work is like being trained like a brain surgeon. It's very,
I don't think that's
very precise, and it's very mechanical, because, we had to take anatomy and physiology, and,
it's
all of it.
Of course. Yeah. Well, and honestly, I looked into moving to Florida for a time to go to her school.
Yeah.
I looked at the amount of time that I would have to live, because they don't do it virtually. You have to be there. And this was before she retired, when I was looking into it. And I was like, could my family do without me for this amount of time? I have 8 children. So the consensus was no. Mom is needed here. But I really did have a deep longing. And someday I might end up doing something like that. But it's just so fascinating. I've looked very, very deep into doing that. It was very, very strongly considered. But I just love that you have done it, and you can like totally speak from that. But then the evolution of what's happened, you know what I mean? And how you've seen these energetics, it is really cool. I absolutely love all of this. Let's say that there's a skeptic that's listening right now. I'm going to have you kind of talk to them for a moment. What kind of things are going to be happening in your class, or somebody who maybe has been doing this for a long time and they're just not so certain that there's more chakras than what they have been taught? Let's have you go ahead and talk to them for a moment, shall we?
Yeah, well, I kind of laugh because chakras is like been there and done that. Nobody's talking about chakras anymore because there hasn't been any movement within the industry for a discovery of something new and different. So this is what we tell all of our students. First of all, I want to say that we took evolutionary energetics and we brought it in. So Michael and I trained for the past 9 years, leadership training in corporate settings. And we're talking about countries' banking institutions. We've gone in there and we've been working with evolutionary leadership and training people. We don't call it conscious business practices, but we call it evolutionary building, evolutionary organizations. That's where we come from. So we've been baking in a shift of consciousness. We've been baking energy work into our just our level 1 training, all the way up until our academy training with our advanced students. And we took, I don't know how many, 8, 9, something like that, students who are banking executives in other organizations, places like Deloitte and things like that, corporations like that. And we started talking about energy and chakras and teaching them evolutionary energetics. And they were blown away. All of a sudden, they're like, oh my God, I could feel, my hands are tingling. Like, I'm seeing colors, like all of a sudden, because their energy field was opening up and they had this opportunity to have a new perspective and a lens that was different than the norm. And they were using it for their own growth and understanding of themselves and breaking through their own blocks and obstacles just to be successful in their organization. They started doing this work and they really embraced it. And so, but what we tell our students is don't believe us at all. Run your own experiment. We will give you the knowledge, we'll give you the tools and the techniques, but we cannot implement any of this into your lives. So you have to use the tools and techniques, take the knowledge, and go live your life and see what happens. Because truly, the manifestation of any technique or any teaching, the manifestation of a technique in a teaching that works, you will see evidence in your life. Your life will change. Either how you're showing up to every situation in life is going to be different. It's going to be grounded. It's going to be calm, present, healthy. People around you will begin to evolve and shift and change. For example, you might just start eating better. I mean, it's just simple as that, or it could just be that your kids are screaming and there's a lot of chaos going on in the house and you're responding to it in a totally different way. Or it could be bigger things.
Yeah, so I'll answer the question for the skeptic. So speaking to you as a recovering professional skeptic, like I know this, it's actually, skepticism is a disease of the ego. It's actually an aspect of the ego that's keeping us locked and preventing us from evolving. And I'm going to actually give you a power tool, everyone listening, a power tool. It's this question: what if it were true? What if it were true? Because what if it were true, when you ask that question, you say, oh, it is possible that, Michael and Audree are not full of shit. It is possible that there are actually hundreds of chakras in the body. It is possible that the Earth has, along with the rest of our solar system, is moving towards the galactic center, and we have access to high vibrational frequencies, and rapid evolution is possible on the planet, and I can totally transcend my past, my conditioning, all the circumstances to create an extraordinary life. What if it were true that what they're saying is possible? And the answer is, well, it could possibly be true. That'd be one answer that you can use right now. The answer that we'll give in the session is, again, trust your experience. Trust your experience. If you come to that session and you don't experience anything, then, two possibilities. One is that, your nervous system is so shut down that you can't experience anything, or you're not ready to let it in. Or really it's just that your sensory awareness is not there, because the energy is there. There's gonna be a lot of energy in that room. We're gonna take you through some processes. We're gonna give you some teaching, some profound knowledge. So, that's the invitation. So, and our view is, we don't care. Everyone here on the planet is a sovereign being, and everyone can choose their destiny, whether it's to evolve, get the knowledge and evolve, or stay shut down. It's fine. There's no problem. This is just a simulation. It's okay.
Hey, that's awesome. No, I'm totally fine with a couple of swear words. So honestly,
Okay.
you're good. I could feel her freezing every time, and I'm like, Audree, it's fine. It's totally good. But I mean, if people don't like it, they can, go somewhere else. That's okay. I don't know exactly who your class is designed for. I want to take a moment to talk to that. So if somebody's like, okay, is this class for me? What is going to be happening at their vendor space as well? So let's say that they're not going to be at the conference on the day that you're presenting. I want them to be able to know what kind of things that they will be able to connect with if they go and see you on, the other day. So go ahead and speak to that.
Oh, so this is really exciting. So I should say we were invited to this conference last week, completely unprepared, and we have never presented this work out to
other than in private trainings.
In private training with our advanced students. So while we were excited, it was like, how is this going to work? And I just went into meditation. And what we will be doing is, so we'll have a booth at the conference, and we would love to talk to anybody that wants to come by. What we will be offering are just like free mini sessions, and they're healing sessions, and it's just a very simple hands-on approach with the E2 mantra. So if you went on our website, beevolutionary.com, or you did even evolutionaryenergetics.com, it will bring you to the site, and it will speak to the E2 mantra. And this will be using the E2 mantra as a high
Good work.
You're good. I just blinked for a moment. Go ahead.
So come see us at the booth. Experience a little 1 minute healing session.
Yeah, in and out, nobody gets hurt. It takes 1 minute. You'll probably need to sit for 3 to 5 minutes to allow the energies to integrate. But it's just a very, very fast healing with very high vibrational energy.
Yeah. Or you can come and pick our brain.
That's so beautiful. Are you guys going to have your new book that's coming out available for pre-order as well?
We haven't figured out how to manage that logistic yet. I think what we're going to do is people can join our community. We're just in the process of setting up a community, and we'll have announcements there. So if they want to stay in touch, they can do it that way. And that's where the book will be announced.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you guys are also going to be doing trainings for people who would like to advance what they've already been doing as well in their own work, right?
Yeah, so we have reconfigured our whole entire offering for the public. So our first course starts at $397. It's $300, and
self-paced course called
easy.
Awakening to Be Evolutionary, and it's giving like the most powerful starter tools so people can run their own 30-day experiment to see how even just the tiniest starter tools change their life.
That's beautiful.
We're not.
So I think that
we're not salespeople.
Yeah. So really, I mean, we're just so excited to get these tools in people's hands, like things like the nervous system reset and the evolutionary energetics grounding meditation. These are like really, in terms of the evolution of the technology we've been created, like these are fundamental power tools for stabilizing our being. So we're calmer, we're non-reactive. We're able to just flow through life and just create that stabilization that's so essential. And that, especially with this time on the earth where things are kind of pretty crazy right now, people desperately need.
Yeah. So at our session at the conference on Friday evening, we will be taking people through the nervous system reset and the evolutionary energetics grounding meditation. And that grounding meditation will anchor you into fifth dimensional frequency grids of the earth and Christ consciousness grids that surround the planet. So
people can anchor into.
They're going to be anchoring into really high vibrational frequency and stabilizing in that. And depending on time, we could do other things, but.
I just can't say how important these tools are for every human being on this planet to function at this time in the trajectory of the planet, what's happening.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. Is there anything else that you'd like to, just finish with before we close?
I think just gratitude for you for organizing the conference and making all this happen. I think you're really a pioneer of helping change this world, and just an invitation to everybody who's listening to this, come talk to us. We don't have Shark Tank. we'd love to have a conversation.
Awesome. I appreciate you guys. You guys are just amazing. I've really enjoyed. The more I talk to you, the more I get to know you, the more excited I am to see what you guys have. It's going to be so good.
We're so excited to see everybody in person, and thank you so much for inviting us to Utah. It's such a pleasure and a deep honor.
Absolutely. You guys are awesome. We'll see you this coming weekend at the conference.
Couple days.
Okay, sounds good.
Right.
See you guys.
Bye.
Well, that was really fun to have Michael Sahota and Audree Tara Sahota coming in from Boston, Massachusetts. I'm so thrilled to be able to bring in new people who have new ideas and just to be able to broaden our horizons even that much more. I had no idea that she had been, having all this education with the Barbara Brennan School. I'm literally blown away. So I just want to share with you guys my afterthoughts after just speaking with them for just a moment. Wow, I can't wait to be able to have them in our space. This is just going to be so incredible. I'm going to go ahead and throw up my email just on the screen in case there's someone on right now that might have some questions about the conference. I want to make sure that I get those answered for you. My team and I are on standby throughout this week to be able to get those questions answered. If it's easier for you, you can also go ahead and send us a text. My text number is 435-339 and then 0442. And I'll go ahead and put that up on the screen as well. For anyone who might want to just go ahead and send us a text. The conference is in Layton, Utah. The exact address is at the Davis Conference Center, and you can find the exact address on our website, which is energyhealingconference.com. And if you would like to see more details, including the exact schedule of events that's happening, activities like sound healing, we'll have breath work throughout the day. There are so many fun and interesting things. I could just go on and on and on. It's going to be a blast. But I do have a limited number of tickets that are available as a scholarship ticket. You can come anytime you want throughout the conference and participate in those classes, including Michael and Audree Tara's that was just on today. So this is my email, tammy@hopehavenevents.com, or here's my number, 435-339-0442. Send me a text and let me know. We also do have more availability on our volunteer schedule. So if that's something that you'd be interested in helping us out, we have some spots for room hosting that is available, as well as setup and takedown. All right. Thank you guys. We'll see you this weekend. It's going to be awesome. Woohoo.